minutes.
Is that person that sent us the email about the parking issue?
What day is this closing?
I don't know if that was one for
Well, the toilets and stuff are being picked up. The 30th.
And there hasn't been an issue since then. No one's been parking and stuff.
So November 6th is the
So
left planning meeting at
so
6.
actually, a compliment from the guy who's for the VFW.
No, it's 7.
Because his wife, they live in Cove. Retired.
Good evening, all. We'll call the meeting to order. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. We'll go ahead and get started. If we could please rise, and Mr. Morse, you'll lead us in prayer, please.
Thank you all for being here.
Well, thank you very much.
You expect us to come in with anything else. Would you join me in prayer, please? Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you thanking you for this beautiful day. Thank you for the life you've given to us. Lord, we pray and thank you for this peace treaty that's in effect right now. We pray that it will not be long-lasting and that no one would violate the terms of it, and that Israel could get back to, the people on the Gaza Strip get back to their normal lives. I pray for this meeting tonight. I pray for the mayor. I pray for city council. I pray for Attorney Duncan. I pray for the sheriff's office, the fire department, and also Cardinal Engineering, as we receive information from each of these people tonight. So I pray that you would bless us in this meeting, and that we would gain as citizens wonderful information from this city we live. So we thank you for all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. And the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And Rebecca, if we can get a roll call, please.
Dan Martin.
Here.
Caleb Fleggy.
Here.
Amy Long. Here. Sherry Gaskell.
Here.
Rose Beach. Here. Matt Brown.
Upcoming announcements for upcoming events and such. Trail and Treat, it's going to be a great time. October the 25th, 3 to 6, down at our beautiful lake. We've got many, many business and corporate volunteers as well as individual volunteers. So far, we've received $5 shy of $1,000 in donations for the children's decorations and the candies. So just kudos to the businesses and the individuals that are so charitable and kind to donate to make this a great event. We also are going to have volunteers there to help man our hay bale stations. So if you know anyone that would like to step up, because we do have donors that, excuse me, have the money to help but not the time to man the station. So there's always that opportunity. Again, that's 10:25 from 3 to 6. So look forward to seeing everyone there. Trick or treat will be Halloween night, 10:31, and that'll be from 6 to 8. We've got noted that the Owens Lake is closing for the season, and what that really means is that our porta potties are going back to the vendor on November the 31st. October the 31st. Thank you. So although we're not locking the lake down, right, they'll just be, we won't have porta potties down there for the folks. November the 6th will be our next event planning meeting. That'll be at 6 o'clock in council chambers. And then we have our annual Veterans Day event, and that's November the 11th at 11. The memorial will be here at behind City Hall, over here at our Veterans Memorial. And then we will have a lunch for the visitors, the veterans, the folks who are here to celebrate our veterans. Lunch will be provided immediately there after the ceremony. Does anyone have any questions regarding the announcements or events? If we can get an approval of the agenda.
Make motion.
Second.
Dan Martin.
Yes.
Caleb Fleggy.
Yes.
Amy Long. Yes. Sherry Gaskell.
Yes.
Rose Beach.
Yes.
And then we have approval of the minutes. This would include the 9/9 council meeting, the 9/16 special council meeting, the 9/18 special council meeting, as well as the 10/7 caucus meeting.
Motion to combine as one unit and approve as one unit?
Second?
Dan Martin.
Yes.
Caleb Fleggy.
Yes.
Amy Long.
Yes.
Sherry Gaskell.
Yes.
Rose Beach.
Yes.
And then we'll open the floor for citizens' comments. Anyone? Comments, questions, concerns?
For the special council meeting, is that just for you guys or just?
Well, they are posted, so we have to post 24 hours in advance. The details of the special council meeting this time, it was the first reading of the things that we're gonna review tonight for the second reading. But no, all of our meetings are open to the public unless it's called an executive closed session where we're talking potentially about lawsuit or employee issues, things of that nature. But the special meetings are posted at least 24 hours in advance on the city website or even on the door here at City Hall as well as Facebook. If you have any questions, you can reach out and ask City Hall if they're expecting any special meetings for the week or for the month. Does that answer your question, sir?
And by the way, happy birthday.
Thank you, sir. You were older yesterday.
One more.
Thank you very much. Are there any, good evening, welcome. So we're at the citizen comments piece of the meeting. If you all have any comments, questions, or concerns, the floor is open for our citizens. Moving right along. We have with us Sheriff's Department Major Jason Knoll. Good evening, sir. Welcome.
Did we lose the mic?
Yeah, but he can hear well enough, right? Yeah, okay, very good.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council, and everybody for being here. I'm Jason with the Sheriff's Office of Boone County. So I'm going to go over the activity for September. It's kind of a Cliff Notes version, and then I'm sure I will give the Cliff Notes version of what happened at the school. That needs any questions that need to be answered there. So just to run through the numbers real quick for the month of September that the Sheriff's Office was involved with. We had 2 911 hang-ups, 23 alarms, 3 attempt to locates, 1 animal complaint. We investigated 33 auto accidents, 1 burglary report, conducted 12 business checks, served 64 criminal and civil summons, had 2 criminal mischief reports, 10 domestic disputes were investigated during the month of September, 7 emotional crisis, 7 juvenile troubles, 8 motorist assists. We took 7 requests for informations. We spot checked 406 residences and businesses throughout the month. 19 suspicious activity calls, 3 theft reports were investigated, 17 traffic complaints were observed, resulting in 61 traffic stops being conducted, 27 vehicle complaints, 6 lockouts, 4 wanted person attempts, 39 citations were issued in the month of September, resulting in 12 arrests, with a total event 944. Some notable activity, obviously I'm jumping a month ahead because we're a month behind with the information. Give you the Cliff Notes version of what happened on October 8th. At approximately 8:44 a.m., Boone County Sheriff deputies were dispatched to Walton High School following a report of a male individual who had parked on school property who appeared to be in possession of a firearm. The SRO immediately took action and put the school on lockdown, as well as Assumption Church. Had both of them put on lockdown, and deputies promptly responded to the area. Shortly after looking for the individual, he was found walking and taken into custody without incident. Subsequent investigation revealed that the suspect had no direct connection to the school. He had parked on the school property to access a nearby residence on Old Stevenson Mill for the purpose of purchasing narcotics. The suspect was found to be in possession of illegal substances and firearms and was arrested on multiple charges. Obviously, the individual was charged, not convicted, so the information that I can provide tonight is a little bit limited. But if anybody has any questions, I think the deputies as well as the school did a great job with their swift response, as well as the school resource officer immediately locking down the school, realizing that there was another school close with Assumption Church and locking that down. Not Assumption.
St. Joseph.
St. Joseph, thank you. So both of those schools were put on lockdown pretty quickly, and a quick response by deputies to handle the situation without any further incident. So I will open it up. If anybody has any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer them. All in all, pretty bonehead move on the suspect's part to one, attempt to purchase narcotics, and two, park on school property.
Did you say firearms?
Firearms, yes, ma'am.
More than one?
Yes, he was in possession of
They parked in the
a,
school parking lot.
he was in possession of a rifle and 2 handguns. Yeah.
Was he parked up by the preschool, is that where he was at?
Yes, ma'am.
But there was a statement given out by Boone County Police
Mhm.
that they felt like there was no intent toward the school. Is
There was zero intent towards the school, yes. Since the incident has occurred, obviously the rumor mill, Facebook, I would suggest anybody that looks on Facebook realize that it's about 50% true, what you hear. If that, we had a lot of rumors that we've had to squash along the way. But it's been confirmed. I was here on scene. There was no threat towards the school whatsoever. It was a bonehead move on his part. It's pretty much all I can explain it to. Why he parked on the school, he had no answer for. Other than he knew somebody that lived next to the person he was buying the narcotics from and didn't want to get caught. So the gentleman, I
He got caught.
believe, yeah, the gentleman, I believe, was a Walton student at one time, lived in Crittenden. Shaking your head, yes.
A substitute teacher told me.
Do you?
And I recognize him.
Were you there that day?
I was not there that day, but I was there Friday, and it was interesting because I didn't hear anything like at the school.
Right.
So you all did a good job, and the students didn't see an alarm, those faculty didn't see an alarm.
No, it went very well. Our SRO, Jojo Gregory, he's been there. He's been in law enforcement for probably 30 years. As soon as he heard the call, immediately put it on lockdown, kept all the students and the staff pretty secure, kept the staff informed, which was extremely important, which when the staff's informed and knows what's going on, they can kind of circumvent some paranoia and things for the students. So I think that played a big role. And then everything was off campus. So really other than the suspect car being there and one of our cars being there and SRO Gregory, you know, the students didn't see a lot of the law enforcement presence that was driving around. Obviously, you have the kids that send the text messages to parents, and then the parents start talking on Facebook that there's an active shooter, or there's a threat, or anything of that nature. That wasn't the case, obviously. So it ended up pretty well, at least from our standpoint. There's always some things that we can do better. I talked to our emergency management about that. Maybe doing a reverse 911 after the incident, especially when a school was involved, even though it wasn't directly involved, but it was put on lockdown, to notify residents that way that everything's secure and fine. But you know, we live and we learn on that aspect.
Absolutely. And then just a second, I thought you guys did a great job. Thank you. The school did as well. And John and I, as we learned that morning, and for some reason my neighbor had information immediately. Well, I think a teacher at the school is related, but to your point, in the future, how we can better handle, because not only were the school, the students, the faculty, and the folks at the school potentially impacted, but obviously the neighborhood behind the school. But I understand too, in time, information will be put out. If it's premature, it can induce panic. So,
Exactly.
just trying to figure that out, working with the school, working with you and the department to understand how the city can better communicate as well.
And the only way that we had the ability to do it is through our EMA office, doing like reverse 911s. And I don't know what the legality of that was, because there was no direct threat towards the school. So I'm talking with Kevin Vogt, our EMA director, to kind of see where we are legally, if we're allowed to do things like that. For instance, a service road, we did a reverse 911 with that one, that it was contained and all that stuff. But this wasn't an active shots fired or, you know what I mean, natural disaster or anything like that. So we're trying to figure out the logistics of that. But I think that would pay dividends, especially something, you know, that happens, at least the surrounding area, Old Stevenson Mill, you know, this general vicinity, at least being notified, because they see a heavy law enforcement presence. We had a drone in the air. We had several canines that were in the area. And obviously that's due because when you have a suspect like, you know, that we believed that we had, you know, we locked it down quick, and we're going to send all our resources here and utilize all the tools that we have. But when a resident looks out the window and sees drones and dogs, and, you know, it can be somewhat shocking. And then the rumors begin to start and swirl. So our PIO, Phil Ridgel, got out in front of it, did a press release, but we have picked up some information on Facebook where people are still spreading those false rumors and things. So It was completely isolated to that residence on Old Stevenson Mill. A search warrant was executed there, and the search warrant where the suspect lives. So, suspect was taken into custody. There's no further threat or anything to the area.
I think you describe it well in a bonehead decision, right? Because had he probably decided to do that business at Kroger, the charges would have been less. But in the fact that he involved the school, and I just, I hope he can get the proper help.
On Old Stevenson, we may have never caught him
Yeah.
because there wouldn't have been any alarm bells that went off. But when a strange vehicle parks in the school parking lot, you know, and that's why our SROs are so valuable to our school system, because they're able to notify, they're able to see that. They see an anomaly. They see a car that doesn't belong. You know, it's not a student's car. You know, those things are extremely important. So.
Was Joe actively watching the cameras? Is that how it was observed?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Joe's been a lifelong resident of Walton, so he takes a very valued interest in the city. So he did a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
Thankful to have him. So.
Mm-hmm.
How many officers ended up responding? Do you have a ballpark?
From us, I would probably say 15 to 20. We had several Florence officers who came down also for the canine aspect. We had a dog. Florence brought an extra dog down because when you run a track, if we were to run a track or if the suspect fled, we like to have a second dog in case the first dog gets tired or whatever. Several detectives. We sent the search party down here when it's something about our children. We're going to send everybody we have. So.
Great appreciation, yeah.
With so many firearms on him, was he planning to use them when he went to go get the narcotics? Or, I mean, he just has all of his weapons on him.
For protection was what he stated to us, and I can't go into further detail to the interview, but I chalk it up as not very bright.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing a lot more of the firearms as of late.
She has a question. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I have a question. Since you have the knowledge that you have a drug people in this area, what action was the action taken to rectify that? Or-
Yes, our crime suppression unit served a search warrant on the residence right after the incident and took the steps necessary. I can't disclose, but there was a search warrant served here and then a search warrant served in Florence as a result of the investigation. So the FBI was also involved just to ensure that there was no firearm issues or anything of that nature. So, yeah, it was a big event, but it wasn't a school issue, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of that and we were all on the same page.
Yeah, it seems like it was handled textbook, right? Everyone's
Thankfully,
safe.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Walton's been a busy place the last couple of months. for us, so,
Unfortunately, right? Yeah.
yeah, but all isolated.
Yeah.
Isolated events. So.
Well, we're very appreciative. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? Thanks, everybody. Thanks,
Thank you,
Mayor.
sir.
Thanks, Council. Thank you.
We have Fire Department Chief Joey Best.
Good evening.
Good evening, Chief.
Giving you all some statistics and a report from the month of September of 2025, and also numbers for January 1st, 2025 through the end of September. During the month of September, we responded to 42 separate fire incidents, an additional 149 EMS incidents. Of those, 10 of them were motor vehicle crashes, 7 of them were structure fire calls. We had 1 stabbing or shooting. We had a cardiac arrest or DOA. And I am happy to announce for the first time, look back to September 2021. September this year is the first month that we had no overdose calls.
Amazing. I noticed that on the sheriff's report as well. Yeah, that's outstanding.
Spoiler alert, unfortunately, we've done had 2 in October.
Spoiler alert.
I'll take it.
You didn't let us celebrate very long.
Sorry. We're making progress.
Thank you,
And
Chief.
we work closely with the county sheriff's department, and they're a great partner. You know, we're trying to do all we can to combat this problem. It's widespread and very overwhelming. Statistics for the year. we've had 325 separate fire-related incidents, 1,333 EMS incidents, which all total 1,658 incidents. 46 of those have been structure fires, 4 of them have been stabbings or shootings, 17 overdoses, 149 motor vehicle crashes, and 20 cardiac and respiratory arrests or DOAs. With September, the first month since I can remember, I've done a little bit of checking, and in 2022 calendar year, we responded to 41 overdoses. 2023, we had 29 overdoses. All of that was probably COVID related. 2024, we had 33, and year to date in 2025, we have had 18 through the end of September, so we had 2 in October, so a total of 20 this year. Anybody have any questions about any of that?
Actually, for the stabbings and shootings, is it fair to say that those are, or am I ignorant, that those are closer to Richwood, or is that something you're seeing right here?
I can't remember all the addresses.
Yeah.
I know, one of those shooting incidents, everybody knows, because the sheriff's department was involved, unfortunately, with that. But, I can't get any kind of specificity as far as its location, who was involved, or anything like that. But some of those has been in the city limits also,
Understood.
at least part.
With an incident at the school, were you guys notified when the school goes on lockdown, or do you not really be aware until something
Nope.
happens?
I got
Okay.
notified of that when the whole incident was first unfolding, and I'll speak to that momentarily.
Gotcha.
Any other questions? Council? Okay. If you all will just indulge me for a moment, I want to take this opportunity to say, we work closely with the Sheriff's Department, and they're great to work with, great partners, like I said before. I think a lot of times the community does not know a lot of the stuff that these folks have to deal with on a daily basis. We're out there with them a lot of times, and we see a lot of the ignorance that you all deal with. Is that fair to say? So the community, you see the fire department, you see the sheriff's department out there, whatnot. And I feel like the fire department in most cases gets the recognition. We work so hard to try to earn in the public's trust. But when it comes to the sheriff's department, they work just as hard and deserve every bit as much of the public's admiration and appreciation for us. So, and with that being said, there's another aspect of this that people seldom think about. I'll admit it, sometimes I'm guilty of it myself. It shouldn't be that way. And that is our dispatch team. Those folks are the ones that take the calls, that gather information, they relay that information to us, law enforcement, EMA, those folks, and oftentimes they get no kind of feedback, no kind of follow-up, and they're helping people through their crisis. And once we get there, it's like, okay, they get shut off and forgotten about it. So I want to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation. Sheriff's Department, law enforcement in general, we work with, but also dispatch. So, thank you all.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
We have Cardinal Engineering, Mr. Matt Bogan.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So, got quite a bit on my list tonight, but a lot of it's just short items. On our road projects, we're wrapping up our annual resurfacing, and then Dirtworks has done another round of concrete repairs out of the Public Works garage, so the driveway apron is in disrepair and need replacement. We We still plan to have them put in the pad for the memorial bench that's going to go on Mary Grubbs in front of Skyline. We'll probably do some street panels on University as well. Starting to show some wear and tear. At last month's meeting, we talked about the speed bumps, the set that was put out on Old Nicholson by a concerned resident. After talking, we feel like there's we've got a place to have a two-tiered approach to it. The wider streets that get more traffic will get the heavier duty speed humps, like the ones on University and Mullen. And then the narrower streets and the ones that receive less traffic, we'd like to put out the smaller speed bumps that are more cost effective and they'll hold up to more volume traffic. So the Old Nicholson location has been reinstalled. Everything's been measured and laid out. And then laid out another set to go on High School Court. That was another location that got brought up for speeding concerns there from the straightaway. Also, here at the Senior Center, because of the increased traffic we've been seeing during the day for activities, we are designing an expansion to the parking lot out here. Pretty much just directly outside the door. We'll widen that to the west towards the street. We should be able to fit another about 10 parking spaces in a drive aisle that will wrap around the back, so they won't have to pull in and then back out. They can just pull right through and come out the main entrance. I've got it laid out geometrically, but I don't have grades to it yet. So next month's meeting, I have a plan ready with more detailed cost estimate for you guys, but something for the spring 26 project. Also, since we had the restriction on truck traffic at the town center, it's been brought to my attention that some of the semis are having trouble making the right turn in at the eastern entrance. They can make it, but they're swinging wide into the oncoming lane, and any cars that are sitting there waiting for the signal are kind of stuck. So John and I went out and looked at it, and I think we've got enough space that we can pretty much pull the curb back up against the sidewalk, eliminate the utility strip, and have a wider turning radius. That's about the most that we can do. I didn't want to do anything that impacted either the large sign for the town center or the traffic signal. The state's policy on that, if we had to relocate even one pole for that signal, they want us to rebuild the entire thing, and that's give or take $150,000. So we're going to work with what we can, the conditions we're given, so take out the utility strip and use that to make a larger turning radius, as well as pull back the stop bar on the exit left turn lane. So the preliminary estimate for that is a little over $39,000. I can reach out to contractors and get some quotes. If we can keep it under $40,000, we don't have to bid it.
Matt, can I add one thing?
Yeah.
Council, Mayor, that would be a project that was not in the budget, so that would be something that we'd need to consider. And so we can talk about the need versus want versus cost, and obviously there's other savings in some other areas that could pay for it, but it's just something to consider when we see Matt's final plan and cost estimates.
And then another complaint that we got was the roadside ditch on Mary Grubbs in front of McDonald's was eroding. There was some brush material in the drain there. That is maintained by the state, since Mary Grubbs is a state route, so I passed on the comment to their maintenance section. They said they will get to it. They've got some other stuff on their list they need to knock out first, but they'll do what they can to dress that up. I've got some updates on the High Street Bridge. We got the environmental document recertified, so we're down to our final submittal, get our notice to proceed, we can bid it out. I was kind of going through things. I had one of our senior partners review the plans. He had a couple comments on the way the ADA notes, so I'm getting those updated. Just one more detail for the contractor so they can get everything laid out properly. I also talked to Gator Bridge just to kind of get a feel for the lead time on the materials. So once the contract gets awarded, they figure, once they get the go-ahead, They figured about 4 weeks to send us some draft shop drawings for review. Once we review and bless those, another 2 to 3 weeks to get the final set processed, and then about 8 to 10 weeks to actually fabricate the bridge and get it shipped up here. So yeah, as soon as everything is ready to post, I'll let you guys know. We'll go through our usual process. It's a little more involved since it's the state's process, but everything will be laid out for dispatch for that. On the improvements at the park, the new parking lot at the main park is finished. Regulars needs to do a little bit of final restoration, but it's open to traffic. Looks nice. We're also looking at, in conjunction with the project to rebuild the shelter number 1, we'd like to put a small just paved pull-off area, whether that's someone's dropping off food, if we have a food truck pull, cone ice shows up, whatever, someplace where they can pull off for that shelter, as well as some kind of a path. We'll price a few options, whether that's a gravel path, concrete, asphalt, whatever, just to get down to the shelter. So again, I've kind of got it roughly laid out, but I'll put some numbers to that for next month's meeting.
And then, Matt, just for council's reminder, we do have $50,000 in the budget for shelter number 1. And just the base, that's the most rented shelter, right? So when we think about rebuilding the shelters moving forward, we obviously probably have to do 2 next year. This one's the bigger one, right? And so this one is probably needs the most work because it's the flattest, most rented. So there's 50 in the budget, and we'll see where we end up with maybe some slight improvements if we can fit it in.
Yeah, thank you. And then just a couple last notes on the water and sewer expansion. We've got the contractor at work out at the treatment plant, clearing off the hillside behind there. They got set up over the weekend. They thought that they should be done this week, mid next week at the very latest. I think the weather's going to cooperate, so it should be good. There is still a burn ban in effect until the end of the month. So they talked to the fire department. For now, they're just going to push all the brush and trees and everything kind of to the back of the hillside. That'll let Marner carry on with what they've got to do on finalizing the design, and then come back and burn everything just to clear that out. The property owner over on Precision, we've been in touch with about the easement for the pump house. They've still been cooperative. I know he was meeting with his attorney. And have you guys heard anything from him yet? Okay. Yeah, it's on my list to reach out to him this week, but yeah, all the discussions I've had with him so far have been positive, so I don't really suspect that they're going to change the mind on us now. So yeah, once we get that signed off on, I think that's all on our really needs to finish their design and get that out.
Just
Great update, sir. I have a question about, was it Eaton that did down at Stevenson Mill? So the blacktop droppings that go up School Road, are we closer to getting those removed?
I haven't been in town enough this week to see if they've gotten to it yet.
I can give an update
to
now.
them, and John has contacted them as well. So.
I have. I've contacted them twice.
Okay.
I think it's a little laissez-faire attitude in regards to kind of how they've done business with the city before, and I think it's just something to consider. Hopefully, they correct and come and clean it up urgently. We have not paid the bill, obviously, because we want to have great vendors and great relationships, and we didn't even pave that street, and so that was obviously on them. So I'll give the council an update based on how they react moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, from an engineering standpoint, it has no detrimental effect on the road, but it's it is unsightly. So
It's bumpy too.
yeah, I mean, it will get worn down after enough tires hit it, but yeah, it doesn't look great. So
Well, and is that really the quality of work that they want to display?
It's a housekeeping.
Yeah. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
125 going up the Richwood, who do we contact to get the potholes fixed?
I can give an update?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we are getting, that is, the state is repaving that in the spring, that section from Logistics to Chambers. And so I'll have, they sent a date, let me see if I have it. She said, by the time that project we share with us in the next at the next meeting in January. So we'll have a more exact date, probably the end of January, beginning of February, but it's slated for the spring repave.
In the meanwhile, though, if there are, because I know at times there's potholes that could take the whole front end of your car. So if you're experiencing that, we can absolutely reach out to the state because, you know, if it's a problem that's going to cause an accident, that's something that they can potentially, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Right, people are coming over
Yeah.
to not get,
It's become normal driving for folks to
Yeah.
avoid.
there's a hazard over there.
Can we just follow up with them? And yeah, John's going to follow up with the state just to see if there's any kind of patching they can do prior to that. Because do we really need to wait to January? And January is just a meeting. That's not going to be go time. So
Are they blacktopping Mary Grubbs today? I mean, they're putting cones out tonight.
They were staging when I was pulling in and they
Yeah.
were coming into town, and it looked like they had some saw cuts in the median island, so I'm not sure exactly what they've got in the works.
It's eating.
It is eaten, but it wasn't through our contract, it's something they're doing.
And we have not had.
are they
any-
cutting out our pretty landscaping?
I'm not sure.
Maybe they're at a
They
light.
haven't given me any forewarning of what's going on, so
She says it
I'll
looks
take a look
like
on my
it.
way out.
And-
Yeah.
They actually started that last night.
What's that?
Yeah.
They actually started Mary
I
Grubbs
think that was
last
probably
Yeah.
a saw cut, because
Yeah.
it looked like it was freshly cut.
night.
Sir?
You work on high school, people, schools after
I can give an update? Yep. So it's been marked off, and it's been ordered, and once it arrives, it'll be
Been
installed.
delivered, it said.
Okay, so then it's been delivered. So it'll be installed this week.
This week,
They will. We move quickly on items.
where are they actually going to?
So it's right in front of 24.
24, yeah.
24, if you look, there's some pink spray paint on the road. Might be a little darker when you get home, but you can see where it's going to be laid out in front of 24.
Yeah, it's up by the corner of the fence.
Correct. We're going to try one set, and then we'll, based on those results, if we need to add a second, we just know that to the bottom is a little more slopey, which is a little tougher for these. So we're going to do the first one based on those feedbacks. If we need to come back and do a second one, I think that's what the council has agreed to from everything I've gave.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We're talking about roads. How about Walton from 25 over to Independence? They filled some holes, but those holes are coming back out again because the blacktop's coming up. And there's more holes on top of that. So again, people are due to hazarding over there too.
Yeah.
It's
It-
dangerous to go both ways.
I totally agree. The section, I think that's probably the worst, might be right there at the end where it meets 25 at the light. And I know it's because if you try to move over to the right, you ride the wave, right? It's kind of crazy. It looks like it's marked. We went out to look at it, and it looks like the state has already come out and marked for like a 4x10 concrete panel they're going to replace there for that side. But through the rest of it, we'll have to continue.
And for the rest of it, it's there too. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm over there at least once a week.
Yeah.
And it's, go this way and focus on our company. I scared Ron to death the other day. He said, "What are you doing?" I told him.
If you,
I'm coming straight at us.
Barb, do you know how to pin? Do you know how to drop a pin on those locations?
What?
Drop a pin in your phone.
Drop a pin.
Yeah, like the location pin.
Okay.
You know how to do
Where
that?
the holes are?
Yeah, just as you're driving, if you can just mark them, because I can take that information and send it directly to them and say, hey, this is the location. What happens when I reach out to them for these things to say, where, right? And a lot of times, like, it's past logistics, it's on here, or whatever, and they want a specific location. So if you can, if not, I can go do it, and I'll
I got an idea. You could teach Ron, and as she's driving, he's going to pin it.
right. Yeah, that will work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And use your fire.
Yeah. Use John's.
Yeah, no, we've seen enough. This is Wainwright already did enough to it.
Yeah.
That's even better.
Are there any other questions for Mr. Bogan? Thank you, sir. Good update. And then we have City Administrator John Wainwright.
Thanks, Mayor, Council. You have my report in email. I'm just going to go over some of the high-level stuff, and some of the stuff was already covered by Matt. Some of these, I'll start with just kind of where I've been, and I've been in every meeting that I can get into, and that's just so we have to start getting a seat at the table. So I'm learning a lot, and that's good. I'm creating a lot of relationships, which are going to pay dividends and are paying dividends on cost savings and partnerships already. So Obviously, the biggest one is our interlocal agreement with Boone County. You guys know, when you finalize that, and our estimated savings are going to be around $200,000 annually. And so you'll see the difference if you see the old agreement, 2.8, and then the rest of that side would have on the Kenton County. So Boone County is going to collect everything, so the estimate now is around $3 million, with a fixed cost of about $75,000. So that's exciting, and we'll move forward on that. I know Matt from Boone County, the city administrator, reached out this afternoon, and they're going to run the agreement down for us to sign and start the process. So that'll get moving. So congratulations on getting that done. Employee handbook, obviously we started that. We talked a little about caucus. We should have the draft here next month, and then we'll start covering that and any of the other changes or updates. Rebecca and the team has been busy in the office. Tax bills went out with the new reduced rates, and everything we've seen and heard from everyone, they're very appreciative of those reduced rates, paying less than what they paid last year in a lot of cases. So good job there. Saw today the senior center job has been posted for our coordinator position. We've already seen a lot of interest. It's still in a couple of y'all. The first time when we created the role, we took it over from the YMCA, it was, we think it will be a great job to have. And now we've proved it will be a great job to have. And so we'll be in the catbird seat here, be able to pick the best person to really help deliver these great services to our seniors. So excited for that, and appreciate Sherry as she starts a new role in the schools. Rebecca already, the mayor talked about Trail and Treat. Rebecca, did you have anything to add on Trail and Treat? The mayor didn't touch on.
Not unless you just want to tell me after this meeting that you want to volunteer to do a hay bale station.
So I'll reiterate that to the camera and louder. We can use volunteers, right? This will be our first event. If you have not been down to the property, it looks absolutely amazing. And now just envision it with a bunch of really great decorated hay bale stations all the way around it with hundreds of kids and bounce houses and pumpkins and all that fun stuff. And so to continue that, what we need is great volunteers. And so it's not you, maybe it's your neighbor, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's someone, a group that you're in, and then please reach out to Rebecca if you can. We really appreciate it. And then another thing in the office is to touch on, we met with KLC this week, kind of did a KLC 101 course with another Terry with an I, Terry Johnson from KLC, and we learned a lot. And one of the questions I asked her was around, as we put out the tax bills, as we put out our water bills and things, we spend a lot of postage. And so we just kicked off like, hey, what are the options? And she came back with some options. And I know Rebecca's already started a conversation with the postmaster. We can see some significant savings on the mail side if we do some things. So we'll come back to you here soon with what those savings could be. Jonathan, the Public Works team, I would say you guys approved the plow truck bid at our last caucus meeting. Just broke down those savings for you. So with everything all in, we're going to be 11,000 under what we budgeted in the budget. So some good savings there, getting everything we wanted. Matt touched on the facility improvements. We did the concrete in front of Public Works. The team updated and installed a bunch of missing signs around town just to make sure we just went street by street. We were missing it, or if we had someone from a resident, say, hey, we're missing this, or what about that? We went ahead and installed them. Park updates, the lake, new gravel has started to be laid. Got about half of it laid out. They'll come with the rest of it. And we did some the vehicle cutouts along that road. Kayak launch got installed this week. It looks outstanding.
Is it operational?
Totally operational. So the one thing I did learn is they'll stop running kayaks when the combination of the air temperature and the water temperature are lower than 100. So that's when they'll shut down the kayak. Okay? And then they went around, the team went around and did weed management all around the locks, which is tough. So if you go down there now, all those big ones that are really ankle breakers to get to, they've all been treated, cut out, and it looks really good. At the main park, Matt talked about the parking lot. The guys did take down the hill today. So behind the new parking lot between the soccer field, we had that all overgrown. They took all that down. That will get graded by Boone County, and they'll put back in the disc golf hole that has been disturbed during that process. New shelter we talked about, and then we're just still looking for a solution for the handicap swing. I think we have a couple of options, and we'll come back to you probably at caucus with something. Coming soon, we heard about the speed hump on High School Court, and then Councilman Long's project with the decorative street signs. We did our pre-construction meeting with Public Works. We did find one sign was missing. We got that delivered yesterday. Yep, and so we are ready to have those, and that will be a process, but they'll be in place, ready to go before Christmas time. Ryan, at the wastewater treatment plant, we have the city of Edmonton touring the plant tomorrow. And so that's something Ryan's proud of. That's, they've come to using us as a model of what small city sewer plants could look like. And so that's exciting for Ryan and to show off the plant. Monarch Engineering will be here as well. They'll check the clearing, and then we'll get ready to start for our geo sampling here soon.
That's a huge compliment to Ryan and team at the sewer plant, right, for our sewer to be a model for another city. So kudos to them. I know Ryan takes great pride in what he's doing down there at the sewer plant.
Yep, so excited for that. Just an update, the 9-month never-ending blower repair saga has finally been ended. It has been, it's back, it's installed and working. In the future, just so you know, Councilor, we talked about it, but we're just not going to repair equipment that is old enough to drive. Right, we should be buying new, we should be doing the right things with our maintenance and depreciating equipment appropriately so we get our most bang for the buck. But in perspective, as you see below that, the new blower was originally, we had $35,000 in the budget for a new blower. The price quote came back at $42,000. However, we contacted the manufacturer directly, and we now have a new vendor that is selling us one for all in just over $21,000. So $13,000 on the quote, but $6,000 in the budget from the savings perspective, and that is not a 12-week lead time, that is a 1 to 2 week lead time. So it sounds like we have a new vendor for sewer parts, because that's going to, not just parts for new equipment, but also repairs. And so this purveyor is the preferred vendor for the manufacturer. Coming soon, new plant, like you already heard, the plant is getting cleared. All right, so questions? Sir?
John, do you know anybody or have any persuasion with the Boone County Tax Office to use Walton as an example of how to lower the residents' taxes instead of raising them like Boone County did? Mine went up $800.
Yeah, I think from a rate perspective, Wade, I think rates went down in Boone, but I think we got assessed in a lot of cases. And so I know this council is very mindful of, though assessments went up, when assessments go up, our revenues go up. So in turn, if we have enough money in the pot, we're not a bank, we can lower the rates, so we take in roughly the same money to operate accordingly. I believe Boone lowered their rates, but again, I'm not sure about the assessments.
Maybe my house is just worth too much money.
Well, and I can agree, like it's two wings, one bird, right? They're either going to increase our taxes or increase our property value. Either way, it's the same result. It's more money for the county, for the school district, for the city. If that's what, when property values go up, our tax bill's going to go up, unfortunately. And I know we've all experienced that. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, that seems to be true, but it seems like the tax money when it goes up are used for things that maybe aren't really necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's much easier to spend someone else's money than your own. Yeah, I showed you that a long time ago, right?
And I know, my theory is I like to keep dollars local, right?
Yes.
I like to keep $1 here because $1 here is much stronger, right, than us sending it to 3 or 4 levels of government and then getting it back as 10 cents. And so I'm all for keeping local dollars here, and I know we can do a lot more by keeping $1 than asking, hoping that we get 10 cents back. So I know the council's been great at that, and the mayor has as well. And I know I'll continue to champion that.
I understand that Boone County is much larger to operate than the city of Walton. So I just wanted to know.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you as always, man.
Thanks,
sir.
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
One, we're looking for a house, and just in the area, Walton is special. You are, Walton's special. Yeah, you're special. Like if we had, like in a good way, like not how the kids are like, oh, we're special. No. But like you're special.
We're special in a lot of ways.
I don't substitute teach in Boone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I substitute teach in Walton, Verona, because you got some good men and leaders up there. It's not only men, but you have some head hunches that are great, and they don't let the nonsense in your school.
Mm-hmm.
And so even if your tax dollars are a little higher, I guess I would just propose to you that you're doing a good job by your children, which was even mentioned by your chief tonight. And that's great. We're looking for a house in Walton because we want to stay here. Right now, we're in an apartment, but I just wanted to speak to, I hope that encourages you. But the second point was, I had a question about the water. One of the meetings we had previously come to, there was a concern, it might have been outdated, my knowledge of it, but there was something happening that they were concerned about the pipes or something, and has that all been fixed?
So
At this point.
currently we have 3 projects, major projects. We have the sewer plant that we've talked about a lot. We have the Mullins pump station, which is, we want 2,000 roughly linear feet of gravity line. We're going to try to take a smaller station, give it a little break, and move that sewer to a bigger. And then we have the southern water connection. That one allows us to split our system in half. And we have one in the north, which is by Arista Valley. This one gives us a connection in the south by Hellman's Lumber. Allows us to split our system in 2 from an emergency management perspective, water quality, as well as pressure, because we'll get about 140,000 gallons more in one of our water towers that we haven't been able to fill. So that should add some extra pressure and give us some, just a little more options as a water manager.
So with the continued development that we have in some places, you're not as concerned about it as had been?
For water, no. For water, no. For sewer, we still have to be really smart about small projects, and the council's going to consider something today on the agenda. In regards to the larger projects, we just cannot handle that capacity until we have a new tank, right? And so we're looking on that for about 2.5 years.
There was something on Facebook this weekend, somebody's water was all muddy and cloudy and gross looking.
Sure.
What was it?
Yeah, so just as a reminder, we don't produce our water here. We are a buyer of water from Northern Kentucky. And so if they have a break in their line somewhere along the way to get to us, you may see dirt. And so whenever that happens, we obviously are going to flood the hydrants. We're going to turn on, let them run 30, 40 till they're clear. Currently, we flood hydrants daily. Tom has a kind of rotation of flooding hydrants or letting hydrants out for parity. But in those cases, we're downstream of the buyer, right? We buy from them, and so if there's an issue with them, it's just us turning on our hydrants to get rid of the issue. So that does happen. Mayor, council.
Anybody else? Questions?
With all these savings, we'll be able to, what is this over here that wasn't budgeted for?
There's a couple of non-budgeted things that we hope we can, keep them paid for, right?
The bigger entrance to the county center.
Yeah, parking lot could possibly. There's some things that as we, try to solve the challenges, right? As we listen to the challenges of the residents and we try to solve them the right way and efficiently. I may come back to you for those dollars, but as I told you, we're going to try to save every dollar we can along the way to make it easy, get an easy decision. So, this format, does this work for y'all? I know this is our first, but I sent it you an email before so you can see it prior, so you're not seeing it the first time. Is there any changes? If you see any changes or think of anything, just email me and I can adjust it for you.
A great update, a great first month, thank you. With the savings, we could potentially hire a second city administrator. Outstanding work though, John. We have really, truly, we're fortunate to have you on board, and it's been a great first month, so thank you. Anybody else for John?
Thank you. Now maybe Wayne will pray for me next time. Maybe my update will finally get me there, Mayor. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, that's probably true. Wayne, you're probably right.
Thank you again. Outstanding update. Moving right along, city business. So we have, not we, but I thought I lost my agenda, but I have it. Municipal Order 2025-05, a municipal order of the City of Walton, Kentucky, authorizing the city to provide a portion of its funds obtained from the National Opioids litigation settlements to the Walton Fire Protection District to be used to combat and remediate the effects of the opioid crisis in the city. Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, Mayor. This municipal order is fairly small, so I'll read the whole thing. Whereas the City of Walton, Kentucky has applied for and has received funds derived from the National Opioids Litigation Settlements to be used for programs to combat and remediate the effects of the opioid crisis in the city. And whereas the Walton Fire Protection District provides first responder, emergency medical, and firefighting services for the city and its citizens, visitors, and guests. And whereas the fire district and the sheriff are the frontline providers of programs to combat and remediate the effects of the opioid crisis in the city. Now, therefore, with all that into consideration, the mayor and city council of the City of Walton, Kentucky do hereby authorize the city to provide the sum of $29,280.96 to the Walton Fire Protection District to assist them with funding of their programs to combat and remediate the effects of the opioid crisis in the city. So you can consider this municipal order and adopt it by motion if you like.
Second that.
Dan Martin,
Yes.
Caleb Flaggy,
Yes.
Amy Long,
Yes.
Sherry Gaskell,
Yes.
Rose Beach,
Yes.
Thank you. In the first reading of ordinance 2025-18, an ordinance of the City of Walton, Kentucky, amending section 72.01 of the City of Walton Code of Ordinances entitled Limitations on Stopping and Parking in order to provide that the mayor, in addition to the city council, may designate a limited or no parking area and calls to be erected signs or curbs painted identifying such parking areas. Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, Mayor. That title pretty much explains what we're doing now. We have a table in the Code of Ordinances that we add to when we notice places where we need to have limited or no parking or regulated parking. And traditionally, we've gone through the process of having council adopt an ordinance with 2 readings and publication. It's a very expensive process. This ordinance would add the mayor to that mix, and if the mayor, by advice from the city administrator or the law enforcement or whatever, if the mayor determines that there's a place where we need to have limited or no parking area, she can order those signs or signs to be erected or curbs to be painted to identify those areas. So this is a minor change to this ordinance, and that is first reading. You typically do vote on first reading, and you can do that now if you like by motion.
Second?
Dan Martin,
Yes.
Caleb Flaggy,
Yes.
Amy Long,
Yes.
Sherry Gaskell,
Yes.
Rose Beach.
Yes.
First reading, ordinance 2025-19, an ordinance of the City of Walton, Kentucky, amending section 92.16 of the City of Walton Code of Ordinances entitled Rubbish in order to expand that title to include excessive growth of weeds and grass, and to provide that a city representative may give notice of violations and to allow the city to remedy the situation if the owner or agent of the property fails to do so, to charge the owner for the work, and to file a lien if not paid. Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, that title pretty much explains it. We do have a high grass and weeds ordinance in the city. It's in the nuisance ordinance. What this will do is expand our toolbox so that the code enforcement officer can get some pretty quick remediation if we have an overgrown spot in the city, which we typically do have some of those. And this would allow the city to give a 5-day notice for the people to get those weeds or high grass cut down. If not, then the city can send someone in, clean it up, charge the property owner, and as the mayor indicated, put a lien on the property if it's not cleaned up.
And just to clarify, I think that this was mostly for like the situations of abandoned properties. So not just your ordinary neighbor who's not mowing their grass where we're going to be aggressive. It's those situations where there's no contact. We can't contact the owner. It's a recurring situation. anybody else have anything to add to that? I just want to make sure it's clear that we're not just.
Yeah, I'd love to add it, Mayor, if you don't care.
Please.
And so, as a reminder, we are a complaint-driven system. And so most of these are complaints that have been called in and that are affecting folks. And our code enforcement officer can go ahead and issue a citation, say, hey, your grass is overgrown and in the yard, or, out in the street. But they can just not do anything. There is no remedy for ever mowing the grass unless the person decides to mow the grass. So in a situation like the property next to the Gaines house, right, that is a property we cannot get a hold of that owner anymore. This would allow our folks to go ahead and mow that frontage to take it to remedy that situation. This is not a tool in the tool belt of a code enforcement is going to run around and want Public Works to mow people's grass. This is not that ordinance.
Does that make sense?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Dan Martin,
Yes.
Kayla Fleggy,
Yes.
Amy Long, Sherry Gaskell, Rose Beach,
And municipal order 2025-06, a municipal order of the City of Walton, Kentucky, reaffirming with modifications the moratorium on the new construction in the Walton Water and Sewer Service area, which was instituted by municipal order on municipal order 2024-08 on July 9th, 2024, until new facilities are constructed to improve the capacity and performance of Walton's water distribution and wastewater treatment systems. Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, Mayor. A lot of information in that title also, but I guess by summary, last year we did institute the moratorium. As you've heard the reports, we're making progress both on the water and the sewer side. We have had some inquiries about very small projects that would have very minimal impact on the water and sewer system. And what this does, it recognizes that the moratorium will continue for large projects. But paragraph 2, I'm going to read the whole thing there. It will allow for some very small projects. Construction may proceed as permitted on previously approved development plans, and redevelopment of existing lots may be permitted if there is no significant change in land use or increase in water/sanitary sewer demand. That was in the previous municipal order setting the moratorium. Then it goes on to say, if you adopt this, effective upon the adoption of this municipal order 2025-06, the city will consider proposals for single, small construction projects that present minimal water and sewer needs and which will have low impact on the capacity of the city's water and sewer system. Such proposals will be evaluated for approval if the project will generate a need for less than 200 gallons per day of water supply and effluent flow to the sewer system of less than 200 gallons per day. 200 gallons per day is about what a single house would use. So, if you're in favor of expanding our municipal order and allowing for that slight revision, you can adopt this municipal order by motion.
Motion, we do that.
Second. Any discussion? Anyone have any questions on that?
Will it be up to our engineer to have final say on
I
that?
think we need to create that process. I think it's a great question. That's why I wanted to go to discussion. I think that's a discussion that we should have. Is it, the projects may go to planning and zoning. They say, hey, we've had a project. How do you want us to proceed? Matt, what is your opinion?
Yeah, so the way things go currently on new development or redevelopment is, as John mentioned, they go through the standard either site plan review or improvement plan review through the planning commission, which I'm included on that as well. Jonathan knows, you guys, it goes around. It's not just within the planning commission, so we all get a say on the issues we might see with those plans. So the last step of that is the city issues a letter of capacity that they take to the Commission of Water that is kind of a final word saying the city accepts X number of gallons per day for the proposed development and will, we grant you that capacity and will, permit you to proceed with the development. So that's really the final step in that. So that part will continue as it has been. So, yeah, that's the point where if we really can see an issue with it, we could.
And so when we get to that point, Matt, now we're saying no to everything. In the future, what's that final now new step would look like? Is that we get an approval from the council, the mayor? Like what is our thoughts here? That we want someone to.
My thought would be that you and Matt would be the process that it would go through.
Yeah, as part of their application, they state, based on, we're putting in 10 single-family homes, so we're anticipating to add, that number, that amount of sanitary usage. So, we would check that and say, yeah, those numbers are accurate, or if it's something else, industrial or whatever, we can take a second look at it. If something didn't seem reasonable with their assumptions, then we would project. But yeah, we'll look at each one as it comes in and say, yeah, we're okay with it, we can accept this, or if there's some kind of issue, we would say no.
Mr. Duncan, can we amend the language to
Sure.
to lay out that city administrator and our city engineer would need to be in agreement and just have some final say before a project is permitted to move forward?
Yeah. That's a good suggestion. So if you would make that as part of your motion, I think you made the motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve as amended, and we will review the amendment at the next reading, obviously. But
Well, this is a municipal order. There won't be a next
there's not another one.
No, there won't
okay.
be a next
We got
one.
one chance to get it right. Okay.
Yeah, please add. That's why discussion on this was important,
Yes.
because there is no other option.
Okay. Yes, I make a motion to amend the municipal order to include language including City Administrator John Wainwright and City Engineer Matthew Bogan on final review and agreement. If you want to word that in a lawyer, you may.
That is a way that.
I'll fix it. I get paid by the word.
No, I'll do it then.
I second that motion.
Dan Martin,
Yes.
Caleb Flaggy.
Yes.
Amy Long.
Yes.
Sherry Gaskell.
Yes.
Rose Beach.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we're down to council comments. Before we open up to council, any other citizen concerns, comments, issues? Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask police officer, compare by color, did I listen to the comments about that? Police officers were okay? Wasn't someone get shot, ready to get shot?
Yeah, 2 officers got shot. They are okay, they are recovering with the families. They're doing well. Thank you for asking.
Yes, sir.
Before I forget, in front of First Logistics, where Shoreland meets paper, at the railroad crossing, there is a railroad crossing sign that is knocked down. And they had been doing some work at that crossing. That sign is still down, has been down for a month.
We could absolutely reach out to the railroad.
Where is it?
Can you restate where that's at?
Where First Logistics is,
We're down at US.
That's
Yeah.
not us.
that's not.
We can still make the call,
Yeah.
right? But yeah.
Even though it's within
That's
Walton.
within the fire district, but not the city.
Okay.
But we can still make the call, as John stated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can still make the call.
That railroad crossing sign has been knocked down for a month.
Chief,
It would be
It's
the
right there.
crossing at Paper Boulevard.
Paper Boulevard and Shoreland. That sign has been knocked down for a month.
Okay.
thank you.
They
I
cleaned it.
can tell you that crossing does not have lights, bells, gates, or anything like that. Trains there are slow moving trains, but with no other markings, the sign being down.
And I worked there, and keep trains there all the time, but there's no other demarcation except for that sign with no flat on the ground.
Thank you, sir. We'll reach out.
to them.
Please.
Yes, sir. Any other comments, questions? Moving on to council comments. Councilwoman Long.
Thank you for coming. I hope somebody gets people to volunteer to do hay bales at our trail and tree. Don't make me out there by myself. Come on, y'all.
Councilman Flaggy.
No comments.
Councilwoman Beach. Councilwoman Gaskell.
Don't have anything. Thank you.
Councilman Martin.
Nothing.
Y'all are.
She said Amy's gonna say everything, so she knows.
It goes on to mayor's comments. I'm not windy tonight either, so I do appreciate everyone in attendance. Thank you for being here. Again, not to beat a horse, but would love to see you at our first Trail and Tree. It's going to be a great day for the kiddos and the families. I know there are volunteers in this room that are participating, so thank you to all of our volunteers. And we look forward to signing up additional volunteers. So.
It's fantastic to have all these new community events.
Agree. And that reminds me, thank you for pointing that out. When we were younger, we used to have the Memorial Day Parade, and we're looking to bring that back as well. So we did talk about the events planning meeting. If you're bored, if you want to get involved, bring your neighbor, bring your mama. Sometimes mother and daughters might argue, but...
You gonna bring your mom?
My mom is in town, but no, we went on a field trip last one. We went down to the lake. It was
Yeah.
fun.
It was a great meeting.
It was a great meeting, and we were able to really plan it out, and I think those are good events, and I think we should continue this.
Absolutely. And to Amy's point, to continue to build on what we do currently, but also to bring new events for our families, our seniors, our children. So great appreciation again for y'all being here this evening, and we can adjourn by motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Dan Martin,
Yes.
Caleb Flaggy,
Yes.
Amy Long, Sherry Gaskell,
Yes.
Rose Beach.
Yes.
Hey, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. I
Had
appreciate
mine a couple weeks ago.
it. Did you? Happy birthday to you. What's your date? Not your age.